My beloved child, come closer in this quiet moment and listen with your heart. I know why your spirit feels restless today. I know the questions you have been carrying silently, the tears you wipe away when no one is watching, the strength you pretend to have when your heart feels fragile. You wonder why love feels complicated, why affection can exist alongside pain, why your name is spoken with tenderness while another woman's presence still lingers in the same space. I see it all. Nothing about your story is hidden from me, you are loved. Let me say that slowly, deeply, so it settles into the places in you that doubt it. You are loved. Not tolerated. Not kept as an option. Loved. By me first, always. Before any human heart learned your name, before anyone promised you affection, before disappointment ever touched you, my love was already wrapped around you. I formed you with intention. I breathed value into you. I did not create you to compete for affection or to feel second in anyone's heart, yet I know the truth you are facing. There is another woman still there. Her presence may not always be visible, but you feel her in the pauses, in the distance, in the confusion of mixed signals. You sense her in the moments when love feels partial instead of whole. And this truth hurts, because your heart longs for clarity, for exclusivity, for a love that chooses you fully without hesitation. My child, do not think for a moment that I am unaware of the ache this creates within you. I am close to the broken-hearted, and today your heart carries both hope and sorrow. You want to believe in what is spoken to you, yet your spirit feels unsettled because something does not align. That unease is not weakness. It is discernment. It is your soul responding to truth even when your emotions want to hold on. I want you to understand something gently and clearly. Love that keeps you in uncertainty is not the fullness I desire for you. Affection that shares space with confusion will always leave you questioning your worth. I did not design you to live in emotional shadows, wondering when you will be chosen completely. You are not too much for wanting clarity. You are not demanding for wanting honesty. You are not ungrateful for recognizing that something is missing. Yes, he may care for you. Yes, his words may sound sincere. Yes, his presence may bring moments of warmth. But if another woman still occupies his heart, whether through memory, attachment, obligation, or unresolved emotion, then his love is divided. And a divided heart cannot offer the peace your soul craves. This does not make him evil, but it does make him unavailable in ways that matter deeply. I am not speaking these words to condemn him or to shame you. I am speaking to protect you. I am speaking because I see the long road ahead if you continue to shrink your needs to fit into someone else's confusion. I see how slowly, subtly, you would begin to doubt yourself, to question whether you are worthy of more, to accept less than what you deserve. And I will not be silent while my child settles for fragments when I have fullness prepared. You may ask me why I allowed you to feel this love at all if it comes with pain. My child, not every connection is meant to be permanent, but every connection can be purposeful. Sometimes love enters your life not to stay forever, but to reveal what you truly need, to awaken parts of your heart that were dormant, to teach you what alignment feels like and what it does not. This experience is not wasted. Even the tears are not wasted. Do not confuse patience with endurance of pain. Waiting in faith is different from waiting in confusion. I never ask you to remain where your spirit is constantly unsettled. Peace is one of the clearest signs of my presence. When love is right, it does not leave you endlessly questioning. It may challenge you, yes, but it will not continuously wound your sense of worth. I know you are afraid of letting go. Afraid that if you step back, you might lose him completely. Afraid that choosing yourself might mean loneliness. But hear me carefully, choosing yourself in alignment with me never leads to emptiness. What feels like loss can actually be protection. What feels like an ending can be the clearing of space for something far greater. You do not need to fight for a place that should be freely given. You do not need to prove your value to someone who is unsure where his heart belongs. You do not need to compete with another woman, whether she is present in flesh or memory. You were never meant to be compared. You were meant to be chosen. Let me carry the weight you have been holding. You have been analyzing every word, every silence, every change in tone, trying to understand what you did wrong or what you could do better. My child, rest. This is not about your inadequacy. This is about misalignment. And misalignment cannot be fixed by effort alone. I am inviting you into a deeper trust today. Trust that I see what you see and more. Trust that I am not late in your story. Trust that I am capable of healing your heart even if the path looks uncertain right now. You do not need to rush into a decision out of fear. But you also do not need to ignore the truth your heart already knows. Sit with me. Let me speak to the parts of you that feel torn. Let me remind you of who you are. You are precious. You are worthy of a love that stands firm, a love that does not hesitate, a love that does not keep you in the background of someone else's unresolved story. You are worthy of being someone's clear choice, not their complicated option. I am with you in this moment. I am not disappointed in you for loving deeply. I am not upset with you for hoping. I simply want to lead you gently toward what will bring you peace, not prolonged pain. Stay close to me. There is more I want to show you, more I want to heal, more I want to prepare for you. My child, breathe with me for a moment. Let the noise quiet down. I know your thoughts are still racing, replaying conversations, remembering smiles, weighing hope against reality. You keep asking yourself whether you are being too sensitive, whether love is supposed to feel this heavy, whether you should wait a little longer and see if things change. I hear those questions even when you do not speak them aloud. I want you to know that your sensitivity is not a flaw. It is a gift. A sensitive heart feels deeply, loves sincerely, and notices what others overlook. But when a sensitive heart stays too long in uncertainty, it begins to ache in ways that are difficult to explain. You start to feel small, not because you are, but because you are standing in a space that does not fully open itself to you. You wonder if time will solve this, if patience will somehow erase the presence of another woman from his heart. Sometimes time brings healing, yes. But sometimes time only deepens patterns that were never meant to change. Waiting without clarity can slowly teach your heart to accept ambiguity as normal. And I do not want ambiguity to become your home. Listen carefully now. Love that is meant for you will not ask you to silence your intuition. It will not require you to ignore the gentle warnings I place within you. When something is truly aligned, you will feel steadiness, not constant inner debate. You will feel seen, not questioned. Chosen, not partially held. You may feel torn because there are moments when he shows up with warmth, with affection that feels real and comforting. Those moments are not imagined. They are real. But consistency matters more than moments. Direction matters more than intention. A heart can mean well and still not be ready. And readiness is not something you can create for another person. No matter how loving you are, I see how you try to be understanding. You tell yourself that everyone has a past. That healing takes time, that love requires patience. These thoughts come from compassion, and I honor that. But compassion must not cost you your peace. Understanding someone else's wounds should not require you to bleed quietly, my child. I am not asking you to harden your heart. I am asking you to guard it wisely. There is a difference. You can remain kind without remaining available to confusion. You can love without losing yourself. You can hope without placing your entire future in uncertain hands. Do you know why this feels so heavy? Because deep within you, you desire a love that mirrors the way I love you, fully present, faithful, undivided. That desire is not unrealistic. It is holy. It was placed in you by me. And I will not mock that desire by offering you something less. I know you fear that stepping back might make him choose the other woman. That fear is real. But hear this truth gently: if stepping back reveals that his heart was never fully yours, then stepping back saved you from a deeper wound later. What is revealed in distance is often what was hidden in closeness. You are not losing value by waiting for clarity. You are honoring yourself. You are not walking away from love, you are walking toward truth. And truth, even when it hurts at first, is kinder than illusion. Let me be your anchor while everything else feels uncertain. Talk to me when your chest feels tight. Cry to me when you feel alone, even in company. I am not uncomfortable with your emotions. I am not overwhelmed by your questions. I am here, steady and patient, holding space for your healing. You do not have to decide everything today. But you do need to stay honest with yourself. Pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. Pay attention to whether your joy is growing or shrinking. These are not small signs, they are sacred signals. Remember this: you are not behind in life. You are not running out of time. I am not withholding love from you as a punishment or a test. My beloved child, I can feel the quiet ache you carry even when you smile. You have learned how to be strong, how to stay composed, how to tell yourself that everything is fine when your heart feels anything but. You wake up each day hoping for reassurance, hoping for a sign that you are truly chosen, hoping that the shadow of another woman will finally fade. And when that hope is met with silence or uncertainty, your heart sinks a little more, though you rarely let anyone see it. I want you to know that I do not measure your strength by how much pain you can endure. Strength, in my eyes, is not about how long you can survive in confusion. True strength is honesty, with yourself and with me. It is courage to admit when something hurts, when something does not feel right, when love feels incomplete. And today, I am inviting you into that honesty without fear. You keep asking yourself what you should do differently, what you could say better, how you might become more lovable so that his heart finally settles fully on you. My child, listen carefully now. Love is not earned by self-erasure. You were never meant to shrink, adjust, or wait quietly just to keep someone close. Anyone who is meant to love you well will not require you to diminish yourself. I see how you replay moments in your mind, the tenderness in his voice, the way he looks at you sometimes, the promises that sound hopeful yet remain unfinished. These memories make it harder to let go, because they feel like proof that something real exists. And something real does exist. But real does not always mean right, and feeling something deeply does not automatically mean it is meant to last forever. Sometimes, I allow you to experience a love that is almost right so that you learn to recognize what fully right feels like when it arrives. Almost right can teach powerful lessons, but it is not meant to be your destination. If you stay too long in almost, you may miss the arrival of all. You wonder if you are being tested, if this is a trial you must endure to prove your faith or your worthiness. My child, I do not test my children by withholding peace. I refine you, yes, but refinement brings clarity, not constant turmoil. When something draws you closer to me, strengthens your identity, and fills you with quiet assurance, it is from me. When something pulls you into anxiety, self-doubt, and emotional exhaustion, it deserves your careful attention. I am not angry with you for staying as long as you have. I know you stayed because you hoped, because you saw potential, because you believed in love. There is no shame in that. But there comes a moment when hope must be guided by wisdom. Hope without boundaries can slowly turn into self-abandonment, and I love you too much to let that happen unnoticed. You may feel guilty for even considering stepping back. You worry that it means you are giving up too easily, or that you are being unloving. But sometimes the most loving thing you can do is honor truth. Love does not demand that you sacrifice your emotional well-being on the altar of someone else's indecision. I want you to imagine, just for a moment, what it would feel like to be with someone whose heart is fully present with you. Someone whose past no longer intrudes on your present. Someone who does not make you question where you stand. Notice how your body responds to that thought, the sense of relief, the softness, the peace. That response is not fantasy. It is your spirit recognizing alignment. Do not rush ahead in fear, and do not stay behind out of attachment. Walk with me, one honest step at a time. If you need to pause, pause. If you need space, take it without guilt. You are allowed to protect your heart while you wait for clarity. You are allowed to choose peace even if it means disappointment for someone else. I am doing a quiet work in you right now. You may not see it fully yet, but I am strengthening your discernment, rebuilding your sense of worth, and teaching you to listen to your inner knowing. This work will serve you far beyond this moment. It will shape the way you love, the way you choose, and the way you allow yourself to be treated. Remember this, my child, you are not difficult to love. You are not asking for too much. You are simply asking the wrong person for the right thing. And that realization, though painful, is a doorway to freedom. Stay close to me as your heart processes these truths. Let me hold you when the sadness comes in waves. Let me remind you, again and again, that you are not alone in this. I am still speaking, still guiding, still preparing something better aligned with who you are becoming. There is more to come, more clarity, more healing. Remain open. Remain honest. And above all, remain rooted in the truth of how deeply and completely you are loved by me. My precious child, I know that even after hearing these words, your heart still feels tender. Truth does not always bring instant relief. Sometimes it first brings tears. You may feel a heaviness in your chest, a quiet grief for what you hoped this love could become. Let yourself feel that. Do not rush past it. I am not afraid of your sorrow, and I am not asking you to pretend you are stronger than you feel. You are grieving an image, a future you imagined, a version of love you hoped would bloom fully. That grief is real, and it deserves gentleness. But hear me clearly now, grieving does not mean you are losing. It means you are awakening. It means your heart is choosing honesty over illusion, depth over denial. You may still ask me, but what if he changes? What if his heart finally lets go of her? What if I leave too soon? These questions are natural, especially when you love deeply. Yet love must walk alongside truth. Change cannot be forced by your patience alone. Healing cannot be rushed by your sacrifice. If his heart is meant to release what still binds it, that work must happen within him, not at the cost of your peace. I want you to notice something important. Even now, you are growing. You are becoming more aware of your needs, more attentive to your inner voice, more anchored in your worth. This growth did not come from comfort alone, it came from reflection, from listening, from allowing me to speak into your vulnerability. Nothing about this season is wasted. Do not believe the lie that walking away from confusion means you failed at love. Sometimes walking away is an act of self-respect, guided by wisdom. Sometimes distance is not rejection but protection. And sometimes letting go is the very thing that creates space for something far more aligned to arrive. I see how tired you are, tired of waiting, tired of wondering, tired of feeling emotionally split between hope and hurt. You were not created to live in emotional limbo. You were created to love and be loved freely, openly, and without fear of replacement or comparison. Listen to me now with your whole heart. You are not replaceable. You are not second best. You are not meant to live in the shadow of another woman's presence, past or present. When love is right, there is no constant shadow. There is light, openness, and mutual choosing. You may feel lonely as you begin to step into this clarity. Loneliness can feel frightening, especially if you have grown accustomed to emotional attachment, even when it was incomplete. But solitude with peace is far kinder than connection filled with doubt. In the quiet, I will meet you. In the stillness, I will restore you. I am teaching you to trust yourself again. To trust the discomfort that arises when something is misaligned. To trust that wanting more does not make you ungrateful. To trust that you do not have to settle just because you are afraid of starting over. Starting over is not failure, it is faith in motion. There will come a day when you look back at this season with understanding. You will see how it shaped you, strengthened you, and redirected you toward a love that does not confuse your heart. A love that stands firm. A love that does not ask you to compete with ghosts or memories. A love that meets you fully where you are. Until that day, walk gently with yourself. Speak kindly to your own heart. Do not measure your worth by someone else's readiness. Measure it by the care with which you choose truth. Even when it hurts, I am still with you. I have not left your side for a moment. When your thoughts return to him, bring them to me. When sadness rises unexpectedly, let me hold it with you. When courage feels distant, lean into my strength. You are not alone in this unfolding. I am guiding you, step by step, toward peace, toward clarity, toward a love that reflects the way I love you, whole, faithful, and free. Stay with me. There is still more healing ahead, more light waiting to break through. And you, my child, are strong enough to walk into it, even with a tender heart. My dear child, I know that even now, after so much has been revealed to your heart, you still feel the pull to look back. The mind returns to what was familiar, even when it was painful, because familiarity feels safer than the unknown. Do not judge yourself for this. It is human to reach for what once felt warm, even if it no longer brings peace. I am patient with you in this process. There will be moments when memories rise unexpectedly, a laugh, a shared silence, a promise that once made your heart race. In those moments, you may feel your resolve weaken. You may wonder if you imagined the signs, if you were too quick to understand, if love could somehow fix itself if you just tried a little longer. When those thoughts come, do not fight them harshly. Simply bring them to me. Let me help you see them clearly, without fear or self-blame. I want you to remember how your body felt when uncertainty lingered. The tightness. The heaviness. The constant alertness, as if you were always waiting for something to drop. Love that is right does not keep your nervous system in a constant state of vigilance. It soothes. It steadies. It allows you to breathe freely. This is not a small detail. Your body often recognizes truth before your mind accepts it. You may feel tempted to romanticize the pain, to believe that suffering is proof of depth. But depth is not measured by how much you endure. Depth is measured by how much you grow, how honestly you live, how bravely you choose alignment over attachment. You do not need to suffer to prove your capacity to love. Your tenderness already speaks volumes. As you create space, you might notice a strange mixture of relief and sadness. Relief that you no longer have to guess. Sadness that what you hoped for did not materialize as you imagined. Both emotions can exist together, and neither means you made the wrong choice. Healing is rarely linear. It moves in waves, and I am with you in each one. Let me gently remind you of something essential. Your life is not on hold because this love did not resolve the way you wished. You are still becoming. You are still moving forward. There are parts of you awakening now, your discernment, your self-respect, your ability to listen inwardly. These parts will shape every future relationship you enter. This season is equipping you, not delaying you. I know you worry about whether you will love again with the same openness. Hear me carefully. Protecting your heart wisely will not make you cold. It will make you clear. You will love again, and when you do, it will be with greater balance, greater peace, and deeper mutuality. What you are learning now will prevent you from losing yourself later. If loneliness visits you in quiet moments, do not panic. Loneliness is not a verdict, it is a passage. Sit with it gently. Use it to reconnect with yourself, with me, with the parts of your life that were neglected while your energy was tied up in uncertainty. You will be surprised how much strength returns when you redirect your attention back to your own becoming. I am not rushing you toward anything new. I am not asking you to replace one attachment with another. I am inviting you into wholeness. From wholeness, love flows differently. It no longer grasps. It chooses. And when you choose from wholeness, you will recognize when someone chooses you with the same clarity. Trust that I am guiding you even when you feel unsure. Trust that what feels empty now is simply space being made. Trust that peace will not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it arrives quietly, in the absence of turmoil, in the calm you didn't realize you were missing. You are doing better than you think. Every honest reflection, every boundary you consider, every moment you choose truth over comfort is a step toward freedom. I am proud of the courage you are showing, even when it feels fragile. Stay gentle with yourself. Stay open to healing. And remember, you are deeply, unwaveringly loved, not because you endure pain well, but because you are my child, worthy of a love that does not leave you wondering where you stand. My beloved child, now let me speak to you with a deep calm. The kind that settles after the storm has passed and the air becomes still. You have walked through confusion, longing, hope, and grief. You have listened when it was uncomfortable. You have stayed present with your heart instead of running from it. That is no small thing. That is courage shaped by love. I want you to know this with certainty. Nothing about this journey has diminished you. You have not been too much, and you have not loved wrongly. You loved with sincerity, and sincerity is never a mistake. What mattered was not how intensely you loved, but whether that love was met with equal presence and readiness. When it was not, you learned to listen, and that listening has changed you for the better. The chapter you are closing does not define your worth, it clarifies it. You are leaving behind a space where your heart had to wait, wonder, and adjust itself around someone else's unfinished story. In doing so, you are choosing yourself, and when you choose yourself in truth, you are also choosing me. There will come a quiet day, not dramatic, not loud, when you realize you no longer feel pulled back by the same ache. You will notice that your thoughts are lighter, your breath deeper, your spirit more at ease. That is healing. It often arrives softly, without announcement. Welcome it when it comes. I want to prepare your heart for something important. The love that is meant for you will not awaken your fear of being second. It will not make you scan for signs or compare yourself to anyone else. It will meet you where you are and stand beside you openly. It will feel safe to rest, not necessary to perform. When that love arrives, you will recognize it not by intensity alone, but by peace. Until then, let me be enough. Let me be the place where your heart rests without effort. Let me remind you daily that you are chosen, seen, and cherished. Spend time rebuilding your inner world, your joy, your purpose, your sense of self, not as preparation for someone else, but as an offering to your own life. Do not carry bitterness forward. Release it gently. Bitterness binds you to the past, but forgiveness, even if it is quiet and internal, frees you to move ahead. You do not have to understand everything fully to let go. You only need to trust that I am leading you toward what aligns with your soul. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where growth has brought you. And from this place, something new will emerge, not rushed, not forced, but naturally, in its time. When doubt whispers, return to this truth. You are worthy of a love that stands still with you, not one that hesitates. You are worthy of a heart that is fully available, not partially present. You are worthy of peace. I am with you as you step forward. I was with you when you hoped, when you hurt, when you questioned. I will be with you as you heal, as you rebuild. As you open again one day. You are never walking alone. Rest now, my child. Let your heart be lightened. What you released was not meant to hold you forever. What awaits you will not require you to lose yourself to keep it. You are loved, completely, faithfully, without comparison. And that love will always lead you home.